Great atmosphere at the D. Glenn Smith Spectrum. Crowd's been erupting after every Utah State basket. Hasn't been many baskets though, 20-16. Utah State with the lead over St. Mary's with Bob Wenzel, Chris Lewis here. And the atmosphere's been great. The defenses might have been even better.
Yeah, it's been a game of defense, obviously, with such a low-scoring half so far. I expected that from St. Mary's. I'm impressed by Utah State. I didn't realize that they would be so good defensively, especially against a team like St. Mary's that's so experienced.
You use the word impressed. That's been the word to describe Justin Bean quite a bit this season. First half, no exception.
22 points per game, 13 rebounds per game. He's got 9 and 7 in this game. The back pass by Rylan Jones, that's the first basket of the game. He likes that side. He likes spacing up. He scores by outrunning his opponent. And this little dribble play where he pulls up for the jumper is new to his arsenal. And the other part that's happening in this game is St. Mary's is cold from the perimeter. Why? Because they're being challenged on all these threes. They are 0 for 12 from three-point range in the first half. They make nearly 8 threes per game. So there's the 0 for 12, and of course there's not much better on the other side with 1 for 6. But other than that, the game is being played cleanly. Not a lot of fouls, nobody in foul trouble. So we're going to have another half of excellent basketball. Keep in mind now, St. Mary's has played better in the second half than the first half in almost every game this year.
Utah State led the entire first half. Mentioned St. Mary's, yeah, they've been a strong second half team this year. This is their first true road game of the season, but with the preseason tournament's fourth time actually playing away from their building. They started 6-0, they're 7-1. Utah State, they're 6-1, having won 6 straight. And two teams that have had perennial successes, mid-majors, and the first half lived up to it.
No doubt about it. And even though it's a low-scoring game, to me it's been very entertaining. And this is a very important game. You can see right there, Dukas, as he came out, gritted his teeth right there.
Too, yeah.
Dukas did go inside twice because he can shoot over people who are guarding him usually. But that guy's got to make some threes. The two guards are not three-point shooters. Kuzi and Johnson are taken to the basket players. They are experienced and tough, but the defense is collapsing on them anytime they get into the paint. So it's been very tough for them to score.
Plus 45 scoring margin in the second half. Randy Bennett.
That's what we were talking about.
Nice to see that. And it's Utah State to start the second half.
Two different kind of centers here, too. Horvath is an outside shooter. He's thin, likes to take threes. Haas is a guy who's close to the basket and very physical.
Idle-Rock's been struggling in the scoring category so far as a member of Utah State after being a scorer at UMBC.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, they love him. Number 5 can defend people.
Off the double, Kuzi to cut. Smooth finger roll.
Yeah, and nice design play. When you're as good as Toss, and he's a good center, people are going to double you. And that's when you have to be a good passer. Post players who are not good passers get double teamed all the time to create turnovers.
He could score it. The tough 2 and 1.
Idle-Rock only averages 6 a game. I think he got poked in the eye there.
His first team foul was that on the Gales.
Shake off the hit. You're right, holding his right eye.
Yeah, right here. They cleared it for him. They needed to get him a shot. He didn't get many opportunities in the first half. They opened up the middle of the floor, and he just took it. Nice pump fake there to get the defense off the ground. And look at the good sportsmanship right there. Dukas was trying to help him up. That's impressive.
Dukas called for the foul. 75% free throw shooter.
He shoots it a little flat, but he got the roll there.
Aggies have let it through. Dukas rolls to the rim.
That was a very, very nicely designed play. Johnson set a screen for him, and he came over the top instead of going back door. Remember he went back door in the first half? So his man's anticipating that. He went over the top instead.
Idlerock, back-to-back buckets for R.J. Idlerock. In the second half for Idlerock, did not score in the first. Corner Bowen, that's his spot, can't get it to fall. And a tie-up on the rebound as Idlerock hits the floor with toss. Idlerock called for the foul, much to the dismay of Ryan Odom. And the player from London picks up his first foul of the second half. Kuzi's wide open, fires a three. Tommy Kuzi, and that's the first three of the game for St. Mary's. It comes 2 minutes into the second half.
Remember we talked about how St. Mary's is much better in the second half than the first half this year? They have come out and really have executed offensively.
First three in 14 attempts.
He's got the answer.
Double figure scoring with 11.
He's got 6 double-doubles already on the year.
And another steal.
Watch behind.
Bean powers to the rim and a blocking foul. Kyle Bowen called for the block.
Man, oh man, do we have some action. Justin Bean is such a smart player. Backdoor play, cut to the basket, made it. Very next play, defensive end makes a steal and goes the length of the floor. He didn't make the basket. They fouled him hard enough, which is smart on the defense's play. Right here.
There's a timeout called as Bean, a tough 2, and gives Utah State the 5-point lead. To 28-23, Utah State building a 5-point lead. Here's the last sequence.
Well, right here, the ball gets here. He cuts and sets a screen. Notice this man in the corner. He's going to get open by coming over the top. Last time he went baseline. So let's take a look at it. Ball is at the top. The screen is set. He goes over the top, cuts right to the basket. That is beautiful, beautiful basketball. 3 guys had to do the right thing at the right time. That is pretty complicated stuff right there.
And is that one of the benefits of having so many veteran players? The St. Mary's, Randy Bennett's system, a lot of movement?
Yeah, I think so. You know, I mean, that's not a play that you teach in the first day of practice and think your guys are going to execute it, right? So, yeah, and it comes on top of the same exact play where he back cut it instead. So it's very sophisticated basketball. And this is a sophisticated player at the free throw line.
Former walk-on, a role player with the St. Mary's, or the Utah State teams with Sam Merrill and Nemish Keita. And he is settled into the feature role quite beautifully for the Aggies.
He's always been a great rebounder, but he's become a great scorer as well. And there's Deacon's. Where have you been, Alex? Welcome to the game, man. They're getting much more quality shots this half.
And get a stop on the other end.
When you throw a pass at the ankles of a 6'10" player, you are risking turnover city.
10 turnovers for Utah State. Johnson, got it. So here come the threes for St. Mary's.
And he does not make many of those, but he's one tough guy. This is going to be a great second half.
Made their last 3 threes, and the game's tied at 29. Great hands by Bowen, ahead of the back. Johnson. Backs down. Corner, Kuzi wants 3. Get him 3. 4 straight threes for St. Mary's.
The 2 guards who don't normally shoot a bunch of threes, knocking them in.
Timeout, Utah State.
The experienced guards are doing damage right here. Kuzi has made 2 in this half. This is a terrific pass. Johnson, what are you doing? You're supposed to drive. Kuzi challenged, nothing but bottom. 32-29 visitors.
Saturday morning starting at 9 Eastern. It's double the Serie A gameplay as CBS Sports Network heads across the pond for a face-off between Milan and Salernitana, followed by Roma taking on Inter Milan at noon. Catch all the action right here on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. What a turnaround for St. Mary's in the second half shooting.
0 for 12 from 3, 4 of 5 from 3 in the second half. They started off getting the ball inside, and then when the defense collapsed, it was three-point city by the guards. Johnson and Kuzi. That is terrific, terrific basketball. I mentioned before, they average nearly 8 threes a game, and they're on a 9-0 run right now. These guys are used to winning.
Those 4 second half made threes that you mentioned, Coach, those 4 all in a row. From ice cold to on fire.
Randy Bennett should bottle his speech at halftime and use it every time.
Brock Miller, he can shoot it. Gets it through.
That was a set play also. 3 guys touch the ball, 1 guy gets an open 3. It is loud in here.
A lot of traffic inside the key. Toss and Bowen is fouled.
Brock Miller is the best 3-point shooter on this team, and he hasn't much had opportunity in this game. And even that one was challenged. He claims he got hit. See him when he's going back on defense. He's motioning to the referee. He got hit on the forearm. Brock can make them even when he gets hit.
First foul on Ryland Jones for Utah State. Great curl. And Tommy Kuzi's on fire here in this second half.
You talk about execution of out-of-bounds plays and offensive sets. Boy, they look good in this half.
Jumping the passing lane. Logan Johnson wanted the steal. Instead, he commits the personal, his second.
You know, that's worth it for them, because he gets so many of those kind of steals. He gets that, it's a breakaway layup. And we mentioned that there wasn't much foul trouble. If he had 2 and he did that, now Coach Bennett's got to think about taking him out.
So the gamble perhaps worth the risk.
Yes.
Miller rises. On fire. Horvath at the O board initially. Duke is behind, pulls it in. Toss in his office. Justin Bean jumps the passing lane. Idle Rock. No. And toss. A rebound for St. Mary's.
He takes up a lot of space under there.
Toss the low screen. Johnson lost it on the way up. Jones a reach, no call. Bean 2-on-1. Takes it himself. Halfway down. Talked about pace throughout. This last sequence perhaps favoring Utah State with a quicker pace.
I'll tell you what, we got some hard-nosed guards in this game. Ryland Jones on Johnson. Woo!
A little shot clock under 10, working with 5. Kuzi, one of those tough guards. Lost it, was knocked out, and just 3 to shoot for St. Mary's.
Now they executed an out-of-bounds play on the other side where they got a layup. Now this ball is further out to the sideline as Fotu comes in the game. So we'll see if they run the same box set. They're going to be in a box. As you can see, those 4 guys. It's the same play.
Fotu with 1 left. but can't fall.
Ashworth's on the right perimeter.
Jones off a screen.
Nice hustle by Ashworth.
Silencer won't fall from Dukas. St. Mary's another chance. Corner for Dukas, or make that Bowen. That's his spot. Kyle Bowen silences the crowd. His first three. It doesn't matter for Steven Ashworth.
Welcome to Logan, people.
What a great atmosphere. Bowen again. Line drive. St. Mary's, another second chance opportunity.
Zapala poked that. He should have grabbed it.
From two. No.
That's better. Number 12 is their third center.
Fotu's 0 for 5 in this game. Ashworth trying to take over and stumbles. Gets fouled as Fotu rotated over.
Steven Ashworth is a player, I got to tell you. And he is one fiery guy. And he is one confident player. Even though he comes off the bench, he plays like a starter. Tough as nails. And look at that off-balance play. Oh, man. He hit that so high off the board, and he did it off his off foot. 8 points in this game.
That's confidence.
Amen.
In a high school game, it was taking on R.J. Barrett's squad. And Steven Ashworth put up 29 in the second half of that game. Good scoring.
I'll tell you what, you take Tommy Kuzi and Logan Johnson and Ryan Jones and Ashworth. I'd like to see those guys playing 2-on-2.
Being on the bench, Utah State with a 2-point lead, helped out by Ashworth in his 10 off the bench. 1-2 lost it.
Count the numbers, Ryland. Count the numbers.
Horvath. Cut off. Ryland Jones. Fotu pulls it in. Fotu pumped on the way to the basket. Defense strong for Zapala. Ashworth showing off the handles. He wants it. Kept alive.
Nice ball fake.
And Charles.
Way to go, Ryland. Boy, these guys are playing.
Offensive foul.
Ryland Jones, ball fake, roll around, home rims, 41-37.
Ryan Odom, former head coach, UMBC, of course, the most memorable moment there, 2018 NCAA tournament in Charlotte. It was 16th seed UMBC, most shocking upset in NCAA tournament history, knocking off number 1 seed Virginia, 75-54. And he's here now with a couple of former UMBC players, and Brandon Horvath and R.J. Idlerock, as Utah State on a 6-0 run to take a lead over St. Mary's here at home.
You talk about excitement in a building and players wanting to win. It looked like Utah State was going to kind of spin negatively, and Ashworth saved them. He came in and did all kinds of great stuff. Their energy level went through the roof. And a little bit on Ryan Odom. 5 years at UMBC. Very, very strong coach. Look at the bottom. His dad was the head coach of Wake Forest, South Carolina, and East Carolina. And he has coaching in his blood for sure.
So connected to the game. St. Mary's on defense here with Utah State on a 6-0 run.
Ryan Odom also did something very smart. He took out Bean before the timeout. While Bean is getting a rest while they're extending the lead. How about those two guards? How'd you like them running your team? Smallest guy on the floor. Powerful upper body. 3 fouls on Kuzi.
Johnson. I mean, it was the third foul on Logan Johnson. So Johnson is the one who heads to the bench here. Jones gets the free throw to drop. 7 for Jones.
Unlimited confidence by the Utah State guards.
Dukas is rejected. Zapala throws it away. St. Mary's keeps. Entry pass to toss is tipped, or is kicked, I should say. And one more look at the Zapala block.
Hasn't done a lot so far, but that's a big one right there. 6'11" from Poland.
Kick ball resets that shot clock. Back to 20.
I really like the way Marciulionis plays.
Dukas off the mark.
Nobody on the offensive glass for St. Mary's, but everybody back. So they don't get an offensive rebound, but they don't give up a layup either.
Made it tough for Jones to get a layup. Ashworth, who's had a hot second half, steps on the baseline.
The way the guards dribble, both teams, the way the guards dribble and get inside into the middle of the paint reminds me a lot of the way the Villanova guards play. Colin Gillespie, he was a master, is a master at that. Zapala gets a big hand when he comes out. Bean back in.
How about that? Bean exited, team up 3, team's now up 7. Marciulionis, Fotu, around and down. Dan Fotu's first 3 points of the game for St. Mary's leading scorer. Utah State, winners of 6 straight after dropping their opener. Bairstow in off the Aggie bench. Sean Bairstow, reverse pivot. Toss, high hook, or the outstretched arms.
How about that pass?
Utah State's bench providing a big lift. Bairstow with 4, Ashworth with 10. Saw a big block shot from Shimon Zapala. Stepping in, Bairstow. St. Mary's remaining in striking distance. Marciulionis. Let him know. Loudly within 1 possession. Horvath lost it. Dukas going to the floor, and Coach, you've highlighted the effort for both of these teams all game long, always on the deck.
I think 3 guys got fouled on that play, and there was no whistle. I admire St. Mary's stick-to-itiveness with this crowd and that run. They just hung in and hung in.
Toss at it, knocked away by Horvath. Last touch by Utah State.
Marciulionis' dad's in the Hall of Fame. and he's just starting his career here. This guy has some hops. Great play by Marshallonis. St. Mary's hanging in.
Coming up next, don't fold, but hold 'em with CBS Sports Network as we bring you a World Series of Poker bracelet event right here on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Coach, you've talked about the toughness of these guards all game long, Ryland Jones being one of them for Utah State.
His defense has been really better than his offense. These hustle plays energize the crowd and energize his team. Now watch this ball fake. He fakes to Horvath in the corner and makes the shot. Draws a charge here. If he keeps playing like this, they're going to have to buy extra Band-Aids for him during the year because he is all over the floor.
You mentioned all over the floor. He's taken 9 charges this season coming in.
I mean, you know, there's a lot of guys that play like this. They should have a who takes the most charges contest.
Oh, no, that'd be wild.
I'd like to know who those guys are.
Fotu has the pass rocket off his shoulder and out. Marshallonis had a lot of heat on the pass, and Fotu couldn't handle it.
Way too much. They ran the same exact play 3 times, and they got open all 3 times. He just circles the double screen, and when the help comes, the second man slides in. Very, very. And Utah State went over those exact plays in practice today. We watched it.
Ryland Jones on the bench for Utah State, but Bean is in, and Bean's teardrop short. Wrestle of a rebound. Toss got there first, but it is a tie-up as Jamon Zapala came in to help. Arrow gives the ball to St. Mary's.
Zapala did well when he was in for that 3-minute stretch. He got a blocked shot, stood in there, battled against Toss, and Toss has been kind of invisible in this game. Not doing his normal good stuff.
Toss and Fotu have combined for only 9. And that's that in the post, having the arm bar. Zapala, when he moved outside the post area, that arm bar, one of the rule emphasis, called for the foul. Cousy hounded by Ashworth. St. Mary's comfortable with the shot clock low. Zapala aggressive on the hedge. Second foul. Polish reserve center for Utah State. Couple of fouls, back-to-back actions.
Well, they only had 3 fouls, team fouls this half, so they can afford that. They can't afford too much of that.
Matthias Toss, 8 points. St. Mary's has made their last 4 shots. They tied the game up at 46 with 6:35 left. Idle Rock, physicality, doesn't get the bucket. Chance for St. Mary's to go back in front. Did not lead at all in the first half. And a slight lead in the second. Corner triple, it goes. Jade Mullins, and St. Mary's out in front. Foul on the perimeter, Augustus Marshallonis. But Jade Mullins in off the bench, only 11 minutes per game, but hit a big corner 3.
Cousy finds him. He is challenged there, but makes it anyway. That is not easy to do when you're on the bench for a half and most of the second half, and you get in a game like this during the last few minutes and make a 3 like that. That's impressive.
Stephen Ashworth at shoot around today saying, I don't miss free throws. He came in 6 for 7, hits the front end of the 1-and-1 with St. Mary's already 17 fouls with 6 minutes left. Ashworth 2 for 2.
Rylan Jones, who's 100% coming into this game from the free throw line.
Roll to the basket, toss there. Horvath late, and St. Mary's up 3.
The reason that was available now and not in the first half is in the first half they weren't making threes. So now those other players are out guarding their people on the three-point line, and there's more room for Toss to operate in there.
St. Mary's locking down. Idle rock to the rim. Layup, the Generals out. Whistle on the rebound. It stays here with Utah State.
I think that's going to be a foul on Kuzi. On the rebound, he was in there with a bigger guy. He was in there with Bean, and he just undercut him a little bit.
Second on Kuzi. 1-1 for Justin Bean. 88% for the free throw line.
They got a lot of good free throw shooters on this team, right?
Shoot 1 plus the bonus.
Connects the front end.
Go ahead. Let's look at the foul right here. Number 12 underneath. He pushes, you can see clearly he pushes Bean underneath the basket. He holds his hands out like nothing happened. You could almost go to jail for that.
Let's say you wouldn't be a basketball player if you just conceded that you committed a foul. You got to at least complain a little. 2 for 2 for Bean.
I love this game. This is this is really, really good stuff. This early in the year, Mountain West against WCC. That is an error that you would not expect from Tommy Kuzi. He doesn't make many of those mistakes.
Hearing it from the crowd at the D. Glenn Smith Spectrum. 2 teams have made noises in their conferences. Utah State clinching a spot in the last 3 NCAA tournaments, probably the best way to say it. There wasn't a tournament 2 years ago. They won the Mountain West tournament that season. And St. Mary's, always a top-end challenger to Gonzaga in the West Coast Conference.
Corner's open.
Ashworth is, had it blocked. Kuzi came on to block it. Saved before it goes out. Horvath is fouled. Matthias Toss, man, hands up. Doesn't like the call.
I never met a basketball player who thought he ever fouled anyone. Horvath is not a physical specimen in the sense of strength and power. You know, he's long and lean and skillful. He scored over 1,000 points in his career, and you can see why. He's got a lot of good moves. But sometimes he gets pushed around in there, and that's happened several times in this game. He counters that with skill and quickness.
Horvath ties it. St. Mary's, Alex Dukas, and he's back in. Giving a break to Jade Mullins, who hit that corner 3 for St. Mary's. Put them in front. Back rim, it stays tied.
9 fouls for St. Mary. Only 4 for Utah State. That could be meaningful in the next couple of minutes.
0-2 is pushed. Rylan Jones is second.
Fotu in the game. He made clutch threes at the end to beat Notre Dame. Can he do it here? Even though he's been cold, he hasn't played much in this game. It's all clear on the left side.
Another turnover for Kuzi. Miller eyes up. Horvath ahead. Horvath is house.
Oh, this could be official going to the sideline to keep everybody calm. They're going to have to go to the monitor on this one.
Playground rules of no easy baskets, tied 51 all with under 5 minutes left.
He's bleeding. Breakaway layup. He pump fakes, and then Johnson, takes him out.
Logan Johnson, regardless of the The impact of this review, they'll take a look at that call. It's fourth foul. Good one. The D. Glenn Smith Spectrum tied at 51.
Utah State and St. Mary's tied up. The officials went to see if it was going to be a flagrant foul. They are talking to both coaches, and they have called it a common foul. There is no flagrant 1 or flagrant 2. But I'll tell you what, that was some hard foul coming from behind right here. He ball fakes, gets the defensive guys, both of them, off of the ground. They are going for the ball, but I'll tell you what, that's pretty excessive to me.
And you saw the definition there, and you see that a lot, especially when it's up shoulders, head area. As you can see, they came together. Hey, it's just ball. No easy baskets, and Horvath understands and has a chance to give his team the lead at the free throw line. Utah State up 1. Double bonus the rest of the way for Utah State. Horvath, 77% from the line, 1 for 2. Just a 1-point lead.
If Utah State gets in a bad way, they can foul. They're not in the double bonus.
Beautiful spin for Dan Fotu, and St. Mary's takes the lead.
I'll tell you what, he's going to have a lot of energy because he hasn't been in the game much.
Ashworth, great jump by Bean, goes right down.
He got pushed when he was in the air, and it didn't affect his balance on the shot at all.
17 points for Utah State's top player. Dukas, no, and Bean hauls in another board for Utah State.
How many rebounds does he have now as he's
9 boards. Ashworth, Horvath saves the possession for Utah State.
Bean is 1 rebound away from his 7th double-double of the year.
A whistle. Officials looking over at Randy Bennett. And then a timeout on the floor. I don't know if they thought Randy Bennett called a timeout. But Utah State clutch from the free throw line. That's how they have a 1-point lead in Logan.
Randy Bennett's upset about something. The score is 54-53. Utah State's ahead. I can understand that. We've had 2 very good plays at either end of the floor. Fotu, who's been sitting on the bench practically the whole game, and he's their leading scorer, and he makes a great move on Bean to score. And then at the other end, Bean gets pushed. He gathers himself and takes a nice little jump hook here. So 2 good plays in the last 2 plays.
So some housekeeping here. I believe the shot clock on the last offensive rebound for Utah State reset to 30 instead of 20. Officials caught that. But they were late to catch it. Randy Bennett be a little bit upset about that, but with that stoppage, it was the under 4, so the timeout gives us the stoppage. Utah State holding a 1-point lead, winners of 6 straight after dropping the opener. St. Mary's, they made it to the championship of the Maui Invitational before losing to Wisconsin, their only loss all season.
When players get used to winning, this is the kind of games you see. Tightly, hotly contested. Ashworth is not afraid of the moment.
He's been big in the second half. Bean. Hook. And a fist pump.
Did you see how he hit that ball on the dribble? It only came up about 2 inches because people were trying to steal it. What a great play. 19
points for Bean. 0-2 around the couple, gets the bucket and a foul.
Fotu was trapped, and he gave a fake to the outside. Watch this. He comes here, watch the fake, and then he comes back on this side. Ashworth left him to cover the three. Ashworth is there, but he leaves. What a great play.
For the second straight game, all of Fotu's points have come in the second half. 56 all here in Logan with 2:40 left.
Bean again.
This time can't connect. St. Mary's a chance to go in front. Fotu works. Draws three. Crowd wanted to travel. Dukas, normally a shooter. That time taking it to the basket to give St. Mary's a 2-point lead.
They will not let him shoot the three. And he's adjusted nicely.
Timeout called by Ryan Odom in Utah State.
Alex Dukas just made a fabulous drive to the basket. His offhand uses his elbows to clear space and doesn't get fouled and makes it. The interesting thing right here, Fotu, Randy Bennett told me that it's his leading scorer. And I said, well, why don't you start your leading scorer? And Randy Bennett said, look, this way he's going to play against tired players, and he's fresh. And we've seen that in evidence. That's genius coaching.
And what does that do for a team culture when somebody who started in the past in Fotu, leading scorer of the team, willing to come off the bench?
It's great. I mean, it's great. And it's really very, very interesting how he does that. And, of course, on the other side, we have Ryan Odom designing a play. The last several timeouts that they have had plays where he reminded it. It's not design. He has the play in his arsenal. They scored on every one of them. So let's see if they do it again here.
We've seen a couple of times out of timeouts getting Bean the ball by the baseline.
Well, they clear a side for Bean. It's on the wing, and then he can go baseline or middle. We've seen him spin to the middle frequently. That jump hook he made 2 possessions ago was really, really solid.
Jones, Utah transfer. Knocked away by Johnson. Stays with Utah State.
Nice hands by Johnson. Brock Miller and Bean together right here.
Miller gets the inbound.
Plenty of time.
Ashworth needs to keep that pivot. Finds Jones. Jones pulls up. The wing three is off. Yeah, St. Mary's the basketball and a 2-point lead. Fotu from Marshall Otis. Fotu on the drive. Passing around the arc, but the ball off the foot of Dukas. Beautiful ball movement, but a St. Mary's turnover.
Too unselfish. They had several shots. Nobody took it. Ball off the leg. There was only 4 seconds to go on that play.
1 minute. 1 minute remaining.
A minute left. Utah State ball down 2. Horvath is fouled. Third foul on Fotu.
His third.
In the act, 2 free throws. Utah State in the double bonus anyway. 77% free throw shooter, Brandon Horvath. 2 for 4 in this game. senior hits the first.
It gets very loud, and then when he shoots, it gets very silent. Fan behavior.
Utah State, a great free throw shooting team, ties it up for the 7th time in this game. Timeout called by St. Mary's. 49.1 left. 58-all here in Logan.
Bennett has gone to Fotu the last several possessions, except for that turnover that they had on the last possession. Fotu did not play in the first half. He doesn't have lactic acid in his muscles. Look at this crowd, man.
Close to 10,000 on hand. Place filled up.
Oh, we talked early about keys to the game. Control the tempo. They have done that. Utah State only has 58 points. Limit Bean. Impossible to do, so they didn't do that. But assist for Utah State? Yes. 11 on 20 field goals. And defend the three-point line, 7 for 23 on the part of St. Mary's. But they were 0 for 12 in the first half. St. Mary's averages 7.8 threes per game.
So what are some of the points being emphasized right here in both huddles?
Well, you know, I mean, Bennett has got to decide. He's a set play guy, not a motion guy. So he's going to set a set play for someone. If it breaks down, then he's got dribble penetration by Marcellonis or Johnson. On the other side, defensively, you want to switch everything here, but you got to be careful of switching off of Fotu, because Fotu is a guy who has made clutch shots this year. So when you double him, you want to make somebody, you stay on the double and force somebody else to take the shot.
And there you saw the game summary, 7 ties, 9 lead changes. Remember, there were no lead changes in this game in the first half. Utah State led it the entire way in the first. Teams have been battling in half two. Dan Fotu to trigger in. Fotu. Mentioned the double. Doesn't see it. Idle whips it around.
That's what I said. They got to double him and stay with the double. Great play by Rock.
About 3.5 seconds separate the two clocks.
Well, the decision here is whether you take a shot with like 6 seconds to go. You can't run it.
Utah State does have a timeout left. Ryland Jones. Bean rolling to the rim. Big contact. Fotu the rejection. 1 to shoot. It's Jones. It's short. Idle Rock. No. A whistle.
Oh my goodness.
A foul in the 1-and-1 with 0.9 to go. Justin Bean called for the foul, and St. Mary's will walk the length of the floor with a chance to go out in front with a 1-and-1 with 0.9 left.
Bean, does he get fouled? I think so. Not called. The miss. Let's watch Idle Rock. Well, Bean does come in strong. Hits him in the back. I think it was a good call.
Dukas, 3 for 4 on the season. This is his first free throws of the game, the 1-and-1.
They're going to look at it.
Alex Dukas, a junior from Australia.
Well, Bennett is talking to the official. He does not want this looked at. He thought it was clear. Now the rebound comes off. Watch 34 in blue. He comes in, and I think that's a foul. He hit him hard in the back.
Crowd just saw it. 1-1 for Dukas. 3 for 4 from the free throw line this season. First attempts tonight. 1 point lead for St. Mary's with .9 left. Utah State does have a timeout.
Everybody off the free throw line. They don't want to foul if there's a miss.
Dukas hits both. Utah State with a timeout, not using it yet with .9.
Well, you practice these.
Bean gets the timeout across half court, and .6 goes off, .3 left. There's a big difference between .3 and .4, and I imagine they'll take a look at it over on the sideline. Well, that's indeed what they're doing. Again, .3, more of a tip. .4, .5, you can catch and shoot quickly.
The inbound play comes from the 28-foot mark. Clearly, they're coached well to do this. They're looking at this. He catches it, calls timeout immediately. We're going to talk on a play like this. The top of the key or the corner on the same side of the ball is likely to be where they go. You got to set the screen. Somebody comes off the screen. They can catch and shoot either play. The other play that the NBA uses a lot is everybody comes toward the ball and they set a back screen for the player out front, and he runs toward the opposite side of the floor where there's no help. I don't know if they have that in their arsenal, but that's also a possibility.
.6. That's twice as much time that was on the clock before.
That's enough.
Now, I'm sure being emphasized there in that huddle is to not foul on the St. Mary's side. St. Mary's 7-1. Utah State 6-1, winners of 6 straight.
I think what St. Mary's is thinking about, do they go 5-on-4 or do they guard the inbounder? They're going to guard the inbounder. That makes the pass more difficult. You can see Kuzi over there. Keep your hands up, not low, to force a bounce pass, not an air pass.
Aggies down 2. Live to Bean, knocked away. Clock doesn't move. It should have moved. And that could be the ball game. Wow. So they lob it to Bean. It was touched. .6 evaporated, but the clock didn't move.
The clock moved 1/10 of a second.
You can imagine the disappointment there from Randy Bennett.
Well, it's a back screen by Brock Miller in the lob. There's help there, and Bean gets stuck between 2 guys, and the clock moved after the play.
It's done. It's done. The officials go to the scorer's table. They conclude that more than .6 evaporated from the clock on that last play, and St. Mary's is the winner.
Well, both coaches wanted to win this game, so they're discussing it, but
tension at the handshake huddle for sure. Tension there, and Randy Bennett to walk off a victor.
This was a great college basketball game, and the fact that it ends on some controversial calls at the end is disappointing. But these kids played their hearts out, both of them.
The game-winning play was a foul on one end, but here's the last sequence.
There's the lob. It's a lot of contact there. Nothing called.
St. Mary's trailing most of the first half. Complete the comeback and stun Utah State in their building. We'll be back with more after this.